definitely do have that. You might not be at the level that you want to be at yet in your life to actually feel like you can share with or mentor or contribute to somebody effectively. But I know most of us in here, there's always somebody smaller than you in your life. And no matter at what stage you are as a businessman or an employer or a person in the church, there's always somebody that's looking up to you. You can be an example to somebody no matter where you're at. So,
and I just got a reminder that we need to stay towards the center to be in the awesome video.
oh, no problem. Okay.
Oh, cycle through.
Okay. So, technical difficulties. All right. Anyway. So this is just a little bit of something that I wanted to run in the background, some ideas for you to think about while we talk about mentoring. So all of these things actually is as part of what we do at BYU Hawaii. We try to mentor as much as possible to each of the students that we meet with. And my areas, they cover Southeast Asia, India, Africa, New Zealand, the Philippines, and Korea. And so although mentoring is a long-term type of relationship that you'll have, we try to at least start with the students and help them as much as possible while they're with us. So, I don't know if you guys recognize a lot of these people, but I just thought I'd throw some pictures on there to show you kind of some successful people in the US. I know globally they also have success, but that last one is my favorite. I don't know if you saw the Yoda and Luke Skywalker. But basically, mentoring is a mutually beneficial partnership. I want to say relationship because our titles at the school are relationship managers. So it's a mutually beneficial partnership between a mentor and a mentee or a protege, somebody that you're sharing information with. And so, here's a few things that I thought would be useful to share with you about being a mentor. So, I don't know, how many of you in here are in a position or have had an experience in the past where somebody has mentored you? Anybody? Great. Does anybody like to share with us maybe something? It might be currently ongoing. It could be something that you're still working with that person with. But would anybody be willing to share maybe some of the things that your mentor has done with you?
When I was a youth leader in my state, and I made some program, I will be a mentor, and the students of our church will be your mentee. So about 3 years, for 3 years, so I give some project to him or she. So writing every day, I read the scripture. I had to go to my school and I read some book and I services for our society. So every day the students doing writing for 3 years. So they did it for 3 years. All everything was grown. So it was great the experience.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. G.
Funny thing that we're both here. When I first came out to India, I'm an American, and by the way, I grew up in Hawaii. So my Korean wasn't very good. So when I first moved to Korea, I had a hard time adjusting. And somehow I'll connect with this man. And once a day we'll call each other for about 10 minutes. I'll pick an article. I'll ask him about certain issues in Korea. Because I didn't have the historical background. A lot of the time, like news articles wouldn't make sense. He would explain the background. He would explain what the word means, what it means in English. He did that for me for several months. And so with that, like anytime you ask me to do something and participate with in church events and things,
Awesome. How has that impacted your life?
I'm still, it's been 6 years that I've been in Korea, and honestly, I wanted to come back home after 2 years. Korea was so different from what I imagined, but I come to love Korea. I came to love Korea. I mean, I already had that love, but I feel I cannot. I have someone behind me to support me. That anytime I lost, when I was so that made me feel Korea home and be able to move forward or whatever.
Excellent. Thank you. Very good. Anybody else want to share? Yes.
I was just gonna say that even if you're, older, you're in business or whatever, it's always good to have somebody that you can talk to who's like a mentor. And I have somebody like that who, whenever I have a problem, I'll call up and we'll talk and we'll discuss and get ideas from. And I think that that's really important to have that kind of support, no matter what stage in your career you're in. To have that sort of friend or person that is kind of like there for you, and maybe can give you other perspectives on things.
Okay, great.
I think lots of times, my experience there is they don't always tell you. Usually you go to a mentor because you need an answer, right? You have a question, you need an answer. Often you go to them for an answer, but what you get isn't an answer. What you get is something that helps you think more clearly to make your own decision.
Good.
Or like a sounding board maybe that helps you think through, get some experience, hear some ideas of what they've done or they've seen, and that helps you make a better choice yourself.
So they might pose a question to you for you to think about on your own. Very good. So one thing that Ross mentioned was a mentor might pose a question to you. Maybe they help you something in the now, like today, currently. There is a little difference between coaching and mentoring, and something also that we do at BYU Hawaii, which is called flash mentoring, which is similar to what I would call coaching. Coaching typically is more of an immediate something that maybe today I need help with something at work, and they might help walk you through something or help you come to a conclusion of something that might be needed immediately. Whereas mentoring, Brother Coker spoke about this last night at the dinner. It's a long-term type of thing that it doesn't have to there's actually, I don't think there's really an end in sight with mentoring. It can be a continual thing that happens, like G said, maybe 10 minutes a day. It could happen over a year. It could happen over 10 years. I mean, most of these people that I showed you up here on the board, it was something that is a continual relationship with them. And I think one of the keys is that it should be mutually beneficial. So coaching might be just something, somebody that has a lot of experience is just sharing with you, I would do this and I would do that. Maybe fix this. And it's not so much a one and done, it's somebody you can always go back to. But mentoring is something that continues over time, and it could be very long term. I look at my parents, for example. My dad is like a mentor to me. I mean, no matter what I do, the guy's gonna love me and he's gonna continue to support me in what I'm doing. So I would encourage all of those that are thinking about mentoring. I know my friends here in Korea, they're great at mentoring. I love watching them, I love going over there. They're great at helping others succeed in the specific areas of their life that they need help with. It's a continual assistance or support, and I think it's an awesome way to not only, up here on the board I'm showing a few examples, but it can be very fulfilling to you throughout your life. I haven't had a ton of experiences. I'm 40 this year. I try to have as many good experiences as possible, but whether you like it or not, there's going to be failings in your life. But I just mark that up to experience and then try to move forward with that. So failing, I think, isn't so bad. I guess it's bad if you continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. But I think a mentor can help you actually get over obstacles and things in your life to help you be more efficient and effective in things that you're trying to do. As a mentor, it can help you develop selfless skills. Start to think about other people, not just yourself, which I think is very therapeutic. It's very helpful. Some of the struggles that you have in life, if you share those with people and you're able to help them get out of maybe difficulties, it's very fulfilling. By being a mentor might help you create new insights to things that you're working on. Maybe there's things that you're doing at work, and ideas come to mind after helping somebody else get over a difficulty that they're having. One of the things too at BYU Hawaii that we've been trying to help is that there's a lot of students there from all over the world. One of the main focuses we have is to try to help them use their English skills a little bit more. So the communication skills that are developed by mentoring are amazing as well. And I know that within your specific area of expertise in the industry that you work with, there's certain words, for example, in supply chain, there's certain words that are used in English that might not translate so great across the Korean or Chinese or Japanese. But helping a student or somebody mentor them and help them pinpoint those words that should be used, by the time they come home or they're able to use those words or that language in their area, it's very impressive to have the ability to use those words in your own language and even in English, because I think that it helps them quite a bit to succeed in the areas of life that they need help with. Does that make sense? Sorry, I feel like I rambled a little bit. But trying to use those words in both languages are very helpful. And then doing something satisfying that helps someone else. At the end of the day, I think giving service, which is something that we do a lot in church, is very helpful. When you start thinking of others, it's a little bit easier to get over maybe the struggles that you're having in life. And I find that very helpful in my life. Some of the things that I guess as a mentee or somebody being mentored, is similar to what a mentor can do for you. But you can learn valuable information and maybe even possibly create a skill set that you didn't even know that you were interested in. There's a number of people in my life that I've followed. One of them being, I think most of you in here might know, or some of you might know, PJ Rogers. He's a bishop in the ward that I serve in, back at BYU Hawaii. And he helps me do a lot of things, not only in my job, but in the bishopric. I watch what he does. He teaches me, he coaches me, he helps me every week to understand better how to run a ward efficiently. And it's very helpful. Whether he knows it or not, he is mentoring me. He's helping me to grow. He's helping me to better understand how things should run effectively in the church. I think developing new interests come from working with those that have more experience than you, which is awesome. Improving your ability to communicate is something that I think the mentors and mentees both do. And then learning new perspectives. So cultural differences. I don't know if many of you have been to the US, but I notice when I leave the US and I come to, whether it be Korea, Philippines, Hong Kong, there's a lot of really cool things that I learned culturally, which I love and I try to implement in my life. So I have my own culture, but I love being able to share and understand the cultures of others. And I think that makes me a better person. It makes me a lot more globally aware of things. So in my daily life and what I'm doing at work, I think I'm able to portray that or share that with the students that I work with. Learning a little bit of their language. I've learned a little bit of Bahasa, a little bit of Korean, A lot of Filipino. I served a mission there. But I think being culturally aware is super helpful. And by being mentored by somebody that's of a different culture, I think would help increase your ability to communicate with people across the world. Anyway, I just wanted to close really quickly. There's a couple words that I thought were synonymous or similar to the word mentor. I just wanted to share those with you. So counseling, guiding, coaching, instructing, tutoring, teaching, explaining, educating, sponsoring, and helping are some of the synonyms, I think, of mentoring. So if you have an interest at all in giving of yourself, giving of time to others, I think there's a lot of value in that. It could help you in your life. In this last conference talk from Elder C. Scott Grow, he said that the ultimate role model and mentor available to all of us is our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Come and follow me." So I think each of us individually has it within us to be successful mentors or helpers to those around us. And I think for what Geoff and I do at BYU Hawaii, it's very meaningful to us to be able to mentor and help and guide the students that we work with. But we're also looking to all of you to do the same. So as you've accomplished a lot in your life, we would love for you to turn around and do that for the students, those of BYU Hawaii or BYU Idaho, BYU Provo, those that are going to be coming home to the areas in which they live. It's super helpful, it's very fulfilling, and who knows, it might provide entrepreneurial interests for both the student and for you. That's one thing that we're trying our hardest to help our students see, is that there's relationships out there, and if they nurture those and they request or they ask for help, people will give back. And so part of what our message is today is for you to just think about, if you haven't already or you haven't been doing this, helping to mentor somebody. Take somebody under your wing and help them to better understand maybe the industry that you're in or life in general. I think it's very good, a very good feeling to have, and a very positive action to help somebody else grow in life. And with that, I'll turn the time over to Geoff for the rest of our presentation.
Thank you. So as Keni said, we hope that you get involved in mentoring. If you leave today and say, wow, Keni and Geoff, those handsome guys, it was a fun presentation, and that's the last you ever think about it, or those ugly guys, as the case may be, we've failed. So what we really want to do is give you a tool to help with the mentoring. A lot of organic mentoring happens just because you meet somebody. Like G was mentioning, it was a face-to-face thing initially. We're very isolated. The students that are coming from your countries to BYU Hawaii are in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's not very likely they're going to get any face-to-face interaction with you for the 3-4 years that they're there. So we have a new technology, and I'd like to ask anybody who's got a phone or other device with them to go ahead and pull it out and go to this website, connect.byuh.edu. And just go through the setup process as best you can, and I'll kind of walk through it. So I'm going to try to do a live demo on the browser here. If for some reason our connection doesn't work, I have backup slides just to show you screenshots of this. Wait for that to come up. So this is a technology powered by a company called People Grove. And the purpose of it is to connect mentors and mentees, either for, as Keni mentioned, that long-term ongoing relationship where you really try to help somebody and support them through their career decisions, but also the opportunity for that flash one-off mentoring. So Flash mentoring would be something like a student calls you up, or a young professional, doesn't have to be a student, someone younger than you, less experienced than you, says, you know, I've got this interview with the big company coming up on Saturday or tomorrow, and I need some help preparing for an interview. Or can you look over my resume and tell me, is it good enough for the job or industry that I'm applying for? But then also to have a structured mentorship program that you don't just have to figure out, well, what do I do as a mentor? But we'll have a program that walks you through, okay, first step, do this, second step, and walk you through that process. So if you click on Join the Ohana, obviously mobile interface looks slightly different from this, but same basic things. If you have a BYU Hawaii Net ID, because you're alumni, that may be your easiest option, but you can sign up with your LinkedIn, Facebook profile, or even an email. So I'm going to log in with mine because I already have it.
What if you don't remember your
Sign up with LinkedIn, and you're good.
Okay.
I'm not sure, actually, that's a good question, whether you can reset your password. We have dual factor authentication, so it's going to send to my phone before it'll let me log in. So the cool thing about this is, this will not only allow you to find students to mentor and them to find you, but it's going to very soon become a directory of all living BYU Hawaii alumni in the world. Our campus is piloting this program. If it's very successful at our campus, which we feel that it will be with your help, it will expand to all church education systems. So all 4 BYUs plus LDS Business College. If it's highly successful there, which again we expect that it will be, then it may expand to all church-wide through LDS Self-Reliance Services and could really benefit the entire population, whether you're affiliated with a church school or not. If you're in a remote area, if there aren't people in your specific industry, that you can come in here and find a mentor. Or conversely, for you guys who are already professionals, that you can find people to mentor that you have more experience than them. So from the dashboard here, you'll have your inbox, you'll have recommendations. I don't have recommendations set up because we don't have any people in here yet. So explore the Ohana. In Hawaiian, Ohana means family. So explore the family, all the people we have connected in here. I can either just look through everybody who's on here. Only 52 people now. Hopefully within the next 20 minutes we'll have about 90 people in there because you all sign up. I can search by industry, user type, major, availability, groups, degree types, location, and this will include a map as well. So students can browse and see, I keep saying students, but it's not just for students. People seeking for mentors can browse and see where you're located, what industry you're in, etc. Or if I know specifically the person I want to connect with, I can type it here. Looking for Keni Kalama. Let's connect. So I can view his profile and read and see, does he look like the kind of person, the type of industry, the type of experience that would be useful to me? If so, then I can either send a message or request a meeting from in here. So the cool thing is, unlike LinkedIn, Facebook, other ways of connecting where you have to get the other person's approval before you can connect with them, and frequently they don't see that message or inbox, and so nothing ever happens. With this, it's private and secure because you're not getting their personal contact information, but you can reach out to anybody who's in the system. So I can reach out to Keni and he'll get a notification as he's set up either for email or text message or multiple modes of notification, so that he can quickly say, oh, someone wants to connect with me, and approve a time. We can either set up an offline through Skype or something like that, or the platform actually has video chat enabled within it for everything except iOS for now. It doesn't work on iPhone yet. We hope it will. So he is starred with these blue badges here, things that he's interested in helping with. So balancing career and family, no, I want advice about making a career change. How do I want to communicate with them? I would really like to do a video call. And then it allows Keni to set up his schedule and link with his calendar, or sync with his calendar, and say, I'm open to just 1 a month. I'm really busy, but I'd like to mentor 1 a month, or 3 a month, or unlimited. And then set up specific time slots if he's available. So I can actually schedule a time from right within here. 3 o'clock on the 21st. Let's do continue. And then it has a template already set up that I can edit and say more specifically. And it does support any language. Kenny speaks English, so we'll see with English. And it'll do Tagalog and send it. So now he's going to get a notification. And we can either do, again, that flash mentoring one-off, hey, help me prepare for an interview, or can you make recommendations about jobs in the engineering industry? Or it can become a long-term mentoring relationship. Okay. Any questions on kind of how that part works? Finding someone. Sorry, say again.
Go ahead. I think
Okay.
I'm more step.
Okay, no worries. So then groups is very similar to Facebook, other social media. You can join a group of like-minded people with very similar interests, and we have chosen to break those out by country. So we have the Mongolia chapter, China chapter, Global Chinese, Japan chapter, Hong Kong chapter, and we can add more. So if there's a particular industry, so maybe engineers or finance specialists or educators, you can set up a group like that and join there and find people who are within that group. So I'll show you for the China chapter how this looks. So I'll have an about page. What's the purpose of the group? Members who are currently in here. We have a couple of our students who work with me. And eventually this can go to all people affiliated with the church, with BYU Management Society, with BYUs, anybody who's a friend of the school worldwide. And then discussions. So posting questions. It may not be something that you just want to get one mentor's advice and opinion on, but maybe you have a general question for the whole group that you can post on there and get some discussion. Now, this is cool. BYU Connect will not be a job board to advertise jobs to students, but rather an avenue for you guys as alumni, BYU Management Society members to advertise jobs to each other. So if I log into my student view, I won't see this jobs tab at all. We have a separate platform that's for students that's open to all employers, but this is a way to say, hey, you know what? I'm connected with BYU Management Society. I've already talked to a few people that I know and haven't really found the right candidates. I want to open this up and post it to other like-minded people who I know are part of BYU Management Society, who have that moral and ethical leadership and are going to be a great fit for me. Discussion. There's also a general discussion for the entire global community that will be on here. Resources. Welcome to BYU Connect is the only one in there right now, but we'll also have career resources. For example, if you want to recruit students on Handshake, by show of hands, how many of you have heard of Handshake? 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, awesome. So Handshake is a platform to connect students with employers. And it's not a BYU Hawaii thing, it's actually now the largest platform for all universities and colleges in the US. So if you want to connect with students for BYU Hawaii, or Provo is just coming on this month, you can connect with us and then post the jobs, and students on our campus will see us. You can also hunt for students who have chosen to make their profiles public and get some good recruits that way. So there's an article about how to do that. Job sharing board, I mentioned, BYUMS, smart resumes, and eventually we're going to add more on to it. Student spotlights, alumni spotlights, alumni benefits, which is something we're working to improve. And by the way, if any of you work for companies that you would like to give discounts and things, other benefits to our alumni community, please let us know. We'd love to expand what we can do. Frequently asked questions. You can post events on here. For example, we had a webinar coming up on the 23rd. How to make, yes, I want to register. Nope, I want more info. How to make the most of BYU Hawaii Connect. So you've seen it here. If you want to get really detailed, hands-on information about how to use this to be a benefit for you, both as a mentor and a mentee, then you can register and join this webinar anywhere in the world. And the last page, please use this, share. So you can check out how to use this interface and then share it with your friends, invite other alumni, other BYU Management Society members, other friends of the university to come on here as well. Share LinkedIn, email, Facebook, etc. Questions?
I may have missed it, but
Please.
if our companies are interested in providing internships, can we go onto this and post it directly, or does that have to go through administrative stuff?
Yes. Yes, I'll repeat the question. Thank you. So the question is, if your company or organization has internships that they want to post, can they go directly on here and post it? So the answer is two-part, yes and no. The yes part is, if you're looking for alumni interns, so other people who are in the system as either friends of the university or alumni, then yes, you can post it directly on here. You don't need admin approval. If somebody starts posting crazy weird things, we might have to add it, but we're not having that restriction. So that's the yes part. You can go on there and post without requiring admin approval. However, students will not see it. So if you're looking for current university students who want to do internships, then that would need to go through Handshake. Great question. Anything else? Please.
Sort of a comment, I'm registering here,
Yes.
and when you go to the, university background, of course BYU comes up, and then I tried to add 2 more universities for some other degrees, and it's quite messy to do, so I just put BYU.
Yes. So that is a known issue. The initial setup requires you to put in a lot of information about your background, industry, job roles, universities you've been to. That's for a good purpose because we want to get a good match with the students who are looking for mentors. But yes, we do know that it takes a little bit to get in there.
But it doesn't allow really other universities, that's the problem.
Okay. I will have to check with you afterwards because that is not something I was aware of. So I do want to show you really quick our sandbox version. And I'm sorry I can't talk and type at the same time. So I'm going to log into this really quick if it'll let me. And just show you what this would look like in the future after the other universities and potentially even the whole church join. Error. All right, while that's loading, it may or may not come up. So I'll just walk you through. Basically, it would look and feel 99% the same with different color for each of the universities and for the church and different branding and images. And then from there, the content would diverge based on who's joining the different groups. But you would have one sign-in that you can just go up in the top corner and say, okay, switch to BYU Provo or Idaho or LA's Business College or church-wide. And then have the opportunity to interact either as a mentor or seeking for a mentoring relationship with all of those organizations. So we really, really, really need to get you guys in because once we open it to students, if they go in and see like I did on Explore the Ohana, there are Clear filters. There are 52 results. Yeah, okay, kind of. Now if I search for somebody in Hong Kong specifically and don't find anyone, I'm probably never going to use it again as a student. We can keep telling them, yeah, we've got more people coming, but once we open it up, the initial launch to students, if you guys are not in there as available mentors, it's not going to go very well. So we hope that you will consider logging in here, signing up. If you have any problems, questions, please see us throughout the day. We'll help get you through the steps, figure out what the university issue is with that. Questions? All right, please.
So this is kind of, I just thought of this, but I know that there are people making this available to be like testers, like issue tests when people are living abroad. Would this be another way to, I guess, put that out there? I guess we've been contacted before because a colleague of mine had once listed us in some other network somewhere on BYU, saying that we could issue a test. So I just didn't know that was also something else that this is kind of a more broader use of the platform, or is it primarily just mentoring?
Yeah, can you specify what you mean by tests?
So there are tests. I think it's through the Pathways. Is that the right one? The online school.
Right.
And so it's like if you're studying through that and you take a test, you get accredited through BYU. You need to find an organization that's in your local area. And I mean, and I'm not sure. I don't know if that's been established through this yet, but I imagine that could be a tool by which we can use this for.
Yeah, that is potential. Let's talk more about that afterward. But as it stands right now, it's not configured for that, but that could potentially be it.
Another quick question. So does this allow us to, for example, if you have, I'm not BYU alumni, so faculty of business where there's courses that require students to get experiential based business learning opportunities. Is this a platform where these courses can connect with businesses to be able to have some relationship there, to be able to provide students an opportunity to know where to go to get course credit and content?
Right. Yes, and I think the most logical way to do that would be within this resources tab. That if you've got some great career resources, something that connects them either with graduate school exams or specific courses or things like that, that we could definitely list them on here as resources under the career resources tab.
I guess so. The current lecturers, professors at the university would also be connected to this as well. So it kind of creates a platform for the outside to connect with the inside, and all mentors to be able to, both sides to be able to interact and help these students. Is that kind of what we're doing?
Yes.
I don't know, Geoff, I don't know if you mentioned. Did Geoff mention earlier? I might have missed, but the friends of the university as well. As you mentioned, you're not a BYU alum, which is fine. But to be able to still participate in helping or having an interest in mentoring or sharing information would be great just to go through that as well. Does that answer your question?
Kind of. Well, I have experience in the past of working with, for example, the University of Hong Kong, a specific course that has been designed that students had to go out and basically it's an internship program, but to create a more streamlined opportunity, that things that it was easier for everyone to network and communicate, it would have been better to have a platform similar to this that allows us to work with students while they're in courses instead of just working.
We actually do have on campus what's called an on-campus experiential learning course, which would actually engage with the individuals or whoever, and they could get credit for it on campus.
I'm just saying that would be maybe I'm just saying this as a suggestion that this would be a really cool thing to connect with that experiential based learning.
So this is brand new too for us.
Right.
So what you're saying to us is awesome because we can take that back. What's being mentioned? I mean, we've had this up for what, a couple weeks
Yeah.
now.
So we just barely got out
So-
of beta testing, and we're now adding in the mentor side before we launch to the students. So anything is possible, and
Oh.
anything is worth discussing.
But that's
Yeah,
something that
that's fun.
I haven't thought about in the past, but that's actually a great idea.
Thank you.
So.
So we are at time. Thank you again. May you be blessed both in your seeking mentorship and in providing mentorship to others, helping them as the Savior has helped you. Thank you and aloha.
Yeah, that's good.
We're taking a group, I can't talk, we're taking a group photo now. And I don't know where, anybody know where?
This-
Maybe right here.